my wife and my daughter are here. I know some of you guys are
Yes.
probably like, man, my daughter. If some of you guys know her story and how she was born, so whenever she's at the game, it's
Mhm.
incredibly special for me, considering what she's overcome in her life. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make this a sob story about me. This is
No, this is
about the
great.
team, but one of my guys just asked me if they were still around. So.
Okay. Yeah. So you had her, you had your daughter over at breakfast today. She was
Oh yeah.
crawling all over the place. You were trying
Yeah.
to keep up with her. All right. Different starting lineup today. What went behind the decision to the new starting five, different rotation, and obviously it worked out well because you guys got off to a good start.
Yeah. I mean, I thought, last game I was not happy with the way in which we performed. Like there's differences between winning games and then there's difference between losing games. But when you lose a game and you don't compete, like it's hard for me to swallow. And I thought there were certain guys that didn't compete the level that they needed to compete at. Um, Phil Alston being one of them last game, and Phil I thought responded pretty well. I mean, we've been on him all year about rebounding, and then that first offensive rebound, I don't know if you guys could see that
Oh yeah,
in person.
yeah.
I mean,
He's skied
his
pretty high
head
for
was
that.
at the rim, and so um, when Phil is making extra effort plays like that, makes us pretty special and pretty dynamic, and so um, that's what went into it, man. Was I wanted the group. I wanted like the guys that finished the game. I enjoyed coaching them because of their effort, and um, when people like talk about Loyola basketball, it's the culture, it's how hard people play, and when people are connected and playing hard, like that's what I want to coach. That's what I want to represent our program, our university, and so that's why I went with those guys.
Okay, so what exactly did you say to Sheldon to get him going? I mean, getting a first career Loyola start, going for a career high 25 points. At times, he seemed like he was the best offensive player on the floor.
Yeah, Sheldon can be dynamic. I mean, um, we know he can do this. I mean, he did it to us twice last year, and he's done it a couple times this year. And so, but I think he's understanding our system a little bit better, our style of play, when and when not to take his shots. And I'm going to let him be aggressive. I'm going to put him in position to get him his shots. He just can't force them. And then on the back end of that, he's got to play defensively. And, you know, it was hard to guard any of those guys in the second half, especially down the stretch with their shot making and how dynamic they are. But I think Sheldon's really been growing as a defender and getting better. And so I'm really happy for him, really proud of him because he's had a great attitude, tremendous attitude, and had a tremendous spirit, even though this year hasn't been the easiest for him individually. And so really happy for him.
What does Jacob Hudson do just to stay ready? I mean, we saw him Wednesday. He played, I think, 3 or 4 minutes, but he had a big bucket, had a big defensive play, a big rebound. Comes out today, plays a little bit more time, plays 20 minutes, but 9 points, 3 rebounds. He's in the paint. What does he do just to make sure that he's ready all the time?
I think the best part about Huddy is that he's all in on this place. Like he loves Loyola. He takes a lot of pride in being here. And when you do that, you make selfless plays, and that's what we wanted to be about tonight. Was our culture, was a culture type of win. And was it perfect? No, but finding a way to win a road game against some dynamic guards, that was like a kind of like a stereotypical Loyola road win. Somebody stepping up, and that was Sheldon, and I thought Phil was pretty good, and like you said, Huddy was good. So proud of the guys, and Huddy he really just cares about this place, and that's why he's always ready.
Yeah. So, Drew, what are we doing between now and Brooklyn just to get ready to make a run in that tournament?
Yeah, I think the first thing is being connected as a group. I mean, we're staying out on the road, obviously. So we're staying the night in Philly tonight and then going to head to Brooklyn tomorrow. And with us being out and being on the road, it's an opportunity for us to have conversations about what are we trying to get accomplished when we go to Brooklyn. And, this group has some veteran guys that have won a lot of games in March. And I thought Marquise made some spectacular defensive plays today. Huddy, that's played before in March. Tommy was decent today. And then obviously Braden is what he is pretty much every night. And so, I'm excited about what this group can accomplish. And I think that's going to be what our message is. We're just trying to be super connected over these next couple of days before we take the floor on Tuesday.
Well, Coach, it's looks to be very unofficial right now, but
Salle
looks from what we're being told by Jeff Hagedorn, who is back home, will be joining us in Brooklyn. He's saying it looks like Davidson or St. Joe's, but who knows, right? It's going to be somebody that you've played before this year.
Yeah.
My final question here, just do you feel a sense, a little bit of weight lifted, getting this win, heading into the tournament, getting positive feeling, heading to Brooklyn?
It's much better than losing and staying on the road. You know, I think that makes it even better is that we're all together and we'll have a little bit more of a bounce. And I think you're right, man. It gives us a little bit of momentum, a little bit of good energy, good vibe, and especially because the last 2 league games we've won have been away from home. And we're definitely going to fall on our experience of playing the game against Clemson. That was in an NBA arena. And so we play games like that for a reason. And, you know, hopefully we can come with the same mindset, mentality, and togetherness that we did on that night as well.
All right, Coach, as always, thank you so much for the time, and we'll see you on the bus maybe for some Philly cheesesteaks.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. It's the head coach, Drew Valentine, here on the JB Alberto's post-game show.